Hi everyone and welcome to a special edition of UK versus US. What? Japan's here.
Japan's here.
What special? What's your name?
Sharla.
Sharla.
Yeah.
How long have you been living in Japan?
10 years.
Oh my gosh, you've got quite the tenure.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
yikes.
10 years, 10 years.
What?
Puns! Connie Glynn. Not used to puns. Connie Glynn here is from England. And I'm from the US. And today we're going to have some fun conversations about who's better, UK, US, or Japan. There's a lot of fun differences. Let's go. Better.
Better. Who's better?
Who's better?
Who's better?
Speaking of beta, I got a beta microphone right here. You can see it. It's beta because it's broken. Did you guys know I'm in Japan?
Surprise!
Surprise! That's why I'm doing this video. Basically, Connie and I and Dodie and Tomek, we've all been traveling around Japan, uploading loads of fun travel vlogs on my travel channel and Connie's travel channel. It's been a really good time. And so we hung out with our new friend Charlotte. I think we're all sleep deprived and jet lagged. What is the religion like in Japan? Because I know, like, obviously the UK is very atheist. The US is very, very, very Christian. And lots of different Christian.
I would say, we're atheist leaning towards Christian.
Yeah, you're like
Okay.
Christian used to be Christian.
We're
You're like, I remember my past.
Exactly.
I remember Jesus.
Yeah.
He was my friend.
Japan's interesting. There's several religions. They just kind of take parts of each religion, whatever's convenient. They're like, I like Christian weddings. We're gonna have a Christian wedding.
All right, so it's kind of like Jewish people with
But
Christmas.
we saw some weddings happening in Kyoto and they were all wearing red.
Those are the Japanese style.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Some people do both, or they pick one or the other. And then funeral type stuff is usually Buddhist, I think, or maybe Shinto.
Okay, Buddhist funeral.
So
ceremony.
there's Buddhism, Shinto, which is the Japanese religion, and then Christianity.
Is Shinto
it's kind
what
of
all
a
the
mix
shrines
of
are?
the three. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Now we know.
So it's interesting here. There's not really one dominant religion.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And you guys don't war over that?
No.
Oh.
It's a
Wow.
nice harmony.
Only
should
we
take
learned
a
that.
lesson.
So Ireland, what is up with queuing? I think we've been here for a week now, and I feel like
you spent most of it.
Yeah,
queuing.
we went to Disney Sea
Mhm.
and it was basically queue simulator.
oh my lord, it was just
Yeah.
literally we were
I
walking around the
love
corner and there was a
it.
queue for like an hour, and we're like, this must be the best ride ever. The ride was popcorn.
I was just gonna
Popcorn.
say. I was gonna say, like, Disneyland makes sense. There's lots of people here, but there's this popcorn shop in Harajuku,
Yeah.
and the lineup will be like 50 people.
That's what I
every
just saw as
day.
well. Also crepes.
Popcorn, yeah, crepes, anything. I don't know how they do. I don't know why they do it.
It's interesting because me as an American,
Yeah.
I go to Japan, obviously I want Japanese food, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, sushi, there's no queue.
No.
However, I'm like, crepes, and everyone's like, oh.
Caramel corn.
Yeah, oh, I
Yeah.
love caramel corn.
Because I consider like England to be the capital of queuing.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I
Oh.
thought as well
Not
before
after
this trip.
coming here. It's
W-
like
Yeah.
nothing.
It's like a joke, like, oh, British people love queuing,
We
you
love
know,
to queue.
they'll queue to the queue, and then I came here and I went, not me.
No.
It's
We gotta
intense.
take
Japan
lessons.
wins.
Japan
Yeah.
wins hands down. I don't know why. Is it because Japan's very strict with rules and formalities?
They're very polite when
Yeah.
it comes to stuff like that.
They're
so
very patient. It
Yeah.
felt like people just really didn't care if the line was like 200 minutes
No, they
long.
don't.
No, that was what annoying. In
They
America, we'll be
don't.
like, oh, the line's like 30 minutes. We might as well just ride the teacups.
And that's why there's always never a longer line than 30 minutes because people are like, I'm
Because
not going to
people
queue after 30 minutes.
Screw
Yeah, I'd rather
this.
walk
Yes.
around the entire park doing
Yeah.
nothing than wait in a queue, basically. It's well known that Americans are very in your face and polite, like especially in the service industry. So it's like, hey, can I help you? What's going on, buddy, old pal? Whereas in England, they're much like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. If you're
The
in
people
a,
working in the service industry, like, you know they don't want to be doing it, so
No.
you just kind of like,
in
Oh,
England, they
okay.
just
expect much
yeah.
from them, and
Okay.
you don't get mad at them for not having amazing customer service because, like,
They're
who
like-
really wants to
yeah.
be serving in a restaurant? Like,
Okay.
Whereas you guys, well, in Japan, it seems they're very proud of everything they do.
yeah.
Very particular.
Like the
about
people
how
who
they
work
serve
in McDonald's,
customers.
for example, like in England, like
They
people
love
working
it.
at
They
McDonald's,
Yeah,
love
they
their
love working
life.
at
they love it, and
their
they're so
job.
like
Yeah.
jolly, and they seem to be so like proud of working there, and it made the whole McDonald's just seem like a really nice environment.
That's so
Like people would go
true.
there to study. They had
Yeah, I saw
live
that.
piano concerts.
Yeah.
In McDonald's, just imagine going to a McDonald's at 2 in the morning after a fun night out, and you just hear some live piano music with a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
Always very
Yeah.
clean. And
Yeah.
Yeah. People were doing like their essays there.
Yeah, I mean, if I spend all night at McDonald's, it's because I made a bad life choice.
right? And I know I'm going to regret the next
Yes.
morning. Like, that is what you're doing.
But even more with just interesting formalities we noticed is that Uber drivers and taxi drivers wear suits and ties.
And they have little
do.
gloves.
They have white gloves.
Their little white gloves.
It's
like,
so professional. They open the door for us.
taxi stuff is like very traditional. We have our black cabs, and we have like
yeah.
you kind of know what your taxi driver is going to be like. You have some good conversation.
Yeah.
It is not the same in
No.
Japan. It is a whole
It's like a
different
luxury
thing.
experience.
It's a luxury experience. Like, they'll
Yeah.
open the door for you, they'll, like, do all your bags. I mean, like, taxi drivers will, like, do your bags for you and stuff in
Yeah.
England, but it's not
Yeah.
the same.
How is the healthcare like in Japan?
It's nice here. But I come from Canada, so I have high standards. Yeah, you get 70% covered.
70%
but you
covered.
pay
Okay.
monthly.
Monthly,
You pay it monthly.
interesting,
Yeah,
okay.
and depending on your income.
So we're talking
Wait,
about
what
healthcare in
about
the
healthcare?
UK.
Oh, I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dodie's brother's here. Ian works as a doctor in the UK.
Yeah.
The healthcare. Do they care about the health?
It's kind of more about the money. Yeah.
In Japan,
Japan.
really?
Yeah, they give you, it's private care with insurance.
We love our NHS very much.
Mhm.
But that's the issue with private hospitals in England is they're always specialists. So like if you're in one of them and then suddenly something else goes wrong,
Oops.
You have to
they
go
might not be
somewhere
equipped to
else.
help you.
Yeah.
And in
Yeah.
America, we do everything.
Yeah.
Great. It's just, also you're in debt forever.
I
so-
broke my leg 4 months ago.
And then
if
you
you
have to-
hadn't heard,
and-
which I don't talk about all the time.
If you've done it in America, it would cost an arm and a
Right,
leg.
exactly.
Thank God, yeah.
Doctors can only train for one prefecture. If they want to
Oh.
move to another
Ah,
prefecture, they have to do a
I
whole
didn't
other
know
medical
that.
exam.
Thank you to our
Right.
special guest
Yes,
Ian for
thanks,
our
special
healthcare
guest
knowledge.
Ian.
Sayonara.
Sayonara. Next up, public transport.
Yes, is amazing.
Is it?
in
Is it?
Japan.
I'm just gonna do a
So
comparison
good.
here. UK versus
Very
US versus Japan,
good.
which is the video. Do you think Japan would
Japan
beat
wins.
UK?
Oh,
Really?
yes.
Because I found London Underground to be
UK
so
London
good.
Underground is pretty amazing.
I've never been
but
to the UK, so.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay, well,
my
there we
guess
go.
would be the Japan.
London
tops,
Underground is, like,
basically.
really good.
Are they on time?
Yeah.
They're pretty much always
Like,
on
to
time.
the
We're not talking about
The
Southern
only
Rail.
problem is they
but
are
yeah.
often doing a lot of work on them.
Mm.
So that is something you have to like
But
plan
yeah,
for.
Okay.
Japanese rail, I heard, is like always on time. They're like
Always on time.
religiously
If
on
they're
time.
not on
Good.
time, they'll be they'll be freaking
Yeah.
out and like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my job. I'm like 2
Whoa.
minutes late.
Oh
Your
man.
rail system is so good for tourists
New York's
as
good, though.
well. Your rail system is because we just got like a JR pass.
Oh,
which
it's-
means,
that's
and it's so
great.
good. It means that we're
Perfect.
out the way of all the
Yeah.
like actual citizens. Whereas in England,
You've got
everyone's
your
like
little
messing around with their
special, like-
oysters,
Yeah.
and they're like, "What do I do
What's
with
an
this?"
I do feel like New York's is great, talking more about America, but
I
it's a
only
bit
went to
dirty.
the subway once in New York. So
Really?
I didn't really.
It was useful, it was fast, and you make friends because
It-
everyone in America chats with each other and you can meet
That's
people.
something
I
that
don't
doesn't
want
happen
that.
here.
No,
I like
okay.
that, 'cause
In
I'm American, I
England,
wanna
don't
chat.
want people talking
I wanna
to me.
see
If
someone with a
somebody
dog and be
talks
like,
to me
"Nice
on a
dog."
train in England, I know that they're drunk. And I don't want that. People
Come on.
often like just talk on the phone in England.
You can't
Oh,
do
that's
that in
against
Japan.
it in Japan. No
Yeah.
phone.
No talking, no
Oh,
eating, no
we
being
were on the train from
loud.
Kyoto, and I was very lightly playing a video on my iPhone.
Oh no,
the guy
were
came up to me
people
and
glaring at you?
no, no, no,
Oh,
no.
someone
Turn
told
it
you to
off.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really light as well.
Wow.
I felt really bad, and I was like, "Sumimasen."
Yeah.
Is Western culture like a big thing in terms of like TV shows and movies here, or do you guys have a big
TV
focus
shows
on?
not so much. Music,
Mhm.
yeah, you'll hear a lot of
Okay.
Western music
Oh, yeah,
playing
we
in the
actually-
shops. They love Justin Bieber.
They love Carly Rae
Really?
Jepsen.
And Little Mix. We had them
Oh,
in
yeah.
when we were getting okonomiyaki.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like manga and anime are now not as underground? I feel like a lot of people are
definitely.
accepting them in the
Mhm.
Western culture as a huge movement.
Yeah, because I know people who would like never consider themselves like anime fans who will have watched things like One Punch Man. and
I
stuff like
love
that.
One
Because
Punch Man.
there's-
So I feel like
Ugh.
yeah, it's really good.
I haven't
Death Note.
seen
I think
it.
we've had a good crossover.
Yeah.
Like culture from Japan is hugely coming over to the UK and US, and also we're sending it right back in the form of music.
Yeah.
Like all the you can get matcha frappuccinos now in Starbucks in
You
England.
can?
Finally.
So the US is known as a melting pot.
Mhm.
We have loads of different cultures involved. The UK,
Right.
especially London, is loads of different cultures.
Right.
Which
I've
we love.
only seen Japanese people in Japan.
Yeah,
That's about-
it's
I
very-
think it's
And you.
the only
is
the
it
only people I see around are like
99%
tourists.
Japanese or 95%
95%
Japanese.
Japanese.
Yeah, it's only one or a few.
I haven't
percent.
experienced that in like ages. I'm used to
Yeah.
seeing lots of different
Very
It's
people.
interesting. Yeah.
It's very strange.
I kind of like it in a way that I'm going to a place that's full of people that
Yeah.
aren't like me.
Yeah,
I
it's
can experience
exciting.
their culture.
Yeah, it's nice in a way, but for someone like me who's been here for 10 years, you never fit in. 'Cause you're,
Aw.
you're always standing
always-
out. It
yeah.
doesn't matter how long you've been here.
No
Yes.
guns in the UK and Japan. No one gets shot. What's up with that?
So I've heard that in Japan you live with your family until you're married.
Oh yeah.
Is
I've
that
heard
true?
this.
I mean, it's just
Or, like,
different
there
than what I'm
isn't
used
really
to.
any stigma to like still living with your family when
Yeah.
you're in your like late 20s.
Because like, imagine dating a guy.
No, there
that,
really
like,
isn't.
there isn't.
Really?
No, that's,
I think that's really good.
My stepdad always like, you have to be a self-sufficient man by 18. You know, you've got to have your own car and your own job and out of the house.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, I have school debt.
And then you moved to England and did it anyway.
Yeah.
After you're married, some people will still live with the family to take care of them.
Oh,
like the
wow, okay.
grandparents
That's
or-
good.
Yeah, very family oriented here.
Food in England, we have like our standard ones: KFC, Burger King, McDonald's,
US,
Subway.
US.
Sounds very
US.
American.
And they're all just
US
they're
companies.
All just
Yeah.
American
You guys got
things.
Pret.
You don't have like
Yeah,
fish
what-
and chips.
We've got, but
Fish
like,
and chips
we
to
don't
go?
really have any fish and chips
Something
fast
pretty-
food. Like that is
We
like
do in
a
the US.
chain.
So all
It's
the
called Long
fast
John
food
Silver's.
stuff came
Really?
from America.
Yeah.
Yeah, like most of our fast food comes from America.
America just brings all the fast. Is fast food popular here though?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I
Everyone's
heard
so
you
busy
can't eat
working.
while walking though.
You cannot eat while walking.
But that's the only time I.
Very
If
sad.
If I'm going out somewhere, I just want to eat a corn dog and I have a sandwich. No, you're not allowed to eat while
I
walking.
miss that.
Because I feel like those foods are designed to be eaten on the
What's
go.
the point of fast food if you have to be slow eating it?
Yeah, do people always
they
just
come into
find
the
time?
restaurant, like scarf it down and leave.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
So they
what,
eat it
but what
fast.
about the stuff you buy from like Family Mart?
I don't
Where do
where
Yeah,
they
because
eat it?
I
this
opened it in
stuff.
Family Mart and everyone went, oh,
We
God,
might
I
bring it
want
back
this
there
guy. That's the only expression I know.
I'll teach you more.
I mean, in England, they like want to have people to like do free overtime and stuff, but apparently us entitled millennials who like won't do that are really bad for wanting to only work the hours we're getting paid for.
well, that's good though.
But I feel like it's a progressive change,
Yeah.
like because our generation is like people should work the amount they're getting paid for.
And in the
That-
US, we
that's
just
good.
don't have any benefits at all. Well, there's just, we're run by like capitalists that don't think workers should be entitled to more than 2 weeks of vacation or, you know, sick days.
Right.
I don't know, most jobs I worked when I was like growing up, even minimum wage jobs, I didn't get a single day paid holiday.
Really?
I worked 5 years at a pizza restaurant and not one day did I get paid holiday. When I worked at Urban Outfitters in the UK for 2 months, they were like, you get 2 days of paid holiday every month. And I went,
What?
What? Wait, what? I'm working minimum wage. And I went, yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
this feels so nice.
Because I've loved all my jobs I've had in England.
Really?
I
You
had
had
3
good
jobs before I like
experiences?
became a full-time YouTuber, and they were always really good. Like I had a good amount of money, and I didn't have to like make it my whole life. It was just my job.
I would say
Yeah.
Japan for part-time stuff, it's similar to that. You're not really like, you know, entitled to do hours and hours of overtime.
Yeah.
But once you join a company and you're a full-time worker,
It has to be
it's
your life.
hell. Like that.
Yeah.
That is your life.
You know what? Tea is a thing in the UK.
Yes.
And also Japan, but not in the US.
In the US, it makes me actually angry. Like I will go into a restaurant, I will order a cup of tea, and they will bring
They
me
don't
some...
even have
Lipton.
tea.
Well, we have delicious sun tea and iced tea. Right.
Oh, and it's super sweet, right?
Tea is meant to be hot, and it's meant to be served in a little teacup.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
whole
We've had tea.
experience.
We've had tea 3 times in Japan so far, and every time I've gagged with
Where
how
did you
bad it
have
was.
it?
No, you've been having the like
Cold
you know,
water
the like
tea.
free
The free
cold
stuff at
tea.
the fast
Oh my
food
lord!
doesn't count.
Just
Hey,
imagine
not
like
count.
cold water that someone drips this green
It's not
mucus
the
powder in.
same.
I was going toilet. You continue, but it's time toilet.
Oh.
So I'll talk about toilets. Toilets in Japan are either really cool
Or really bad.
really terrifying. Whereas in England and America, I think mostly they're the same. This is a weird fun fact.
Having used the great Japanese toilets, British toilets just seem
Oh yeah.
rubbish.
So first of all, the seats are heated in Japan.
Heated
Yeah, I have one in
seat.
my apartment.
It's freaky, but it's nice.
It's really
Oh,
nice.
Can you imagine, like,
It's
imagine
really
getting up in the
nice.
night and you need to pee, and you sit down the loo and it's
dream.
like,
So in Japan, after you're
Yes.
done, you can like squirt your butt, and it's.
clean it.
You can
I was
do
really
that
scared it
with
was just
the
gonna
shower
splash,
toilet.
but it doesn't. It's,
very
really
precise.
accurate.
It
It's like
knows
here's
to
where your hole
aim.
is.
"See, no, it's-
Boom! It's like a laser
There's
beam.
another
I
one for
haven't
girls.
used it. Yeah, it makes me
Yeah.
nervous.
I've used it a lot. I always increase the pressure, and it's really nice. It does the good job. However, I do have this weird phobia that I'm going to forget to flush, or it's not going to go down, and when I squirt, it's going to squirt my poop right up my butt.
That's not a thing that happens.
Can it not happen? Because it's my nightmare. Okay, I have to like stand up and go, "You gone?"
Okay, then
Oh.
sit
Okay,
back
no, the
down.
thing I was getting really excited about is that
It's poop.
sometimes when you sit on the loo, it'll start playing music or like
Yeah,
water
so
sounds,
that people can't
they
hear
don't
you
get
peeing.
shy. Yeah,
That's really nice.
So good.
I
That's
really
such
like
an ideal
that.
toilet
It's
experience.
great.
Yeah.
However, there also is, like, I was in Kyoto the other day, and there on the ground was just a hole.
How was that?
I didn't know how to use it. I peed in it, but I was like, I can't squat. What am I supposed to do? Like,
I
do one
can't
of those
squat.
drops
I
at the
got a
club?
broken leg.
I just don't know if I'm ready for that.
My
Yeah.
first
I mean, I
homestay
did
in
go
Japan
to
only had a
India.
hole.
India was only holes.
Everywhere?
Pretty much everywhere. They're supposed to be better for you, those toilets.
That's what people say.
Yeah.
How,
But
better
maybe
than
they're
a
just-
heated seat that sinks to you? I beg to differ.
Maybe not.
That's basically an interesting discussion. You can tell us below if you think you'd rather live in Japan or the UK or the US.
Yep.
Because I think these are pretty interesting. I learned a lot today just from you talking about this.
Yeah.
Right? I've never been to the UK, but
You really should
gotta
visit.
come.
It's really lovely.
Image of what
We
it's
both live in
like.
London.
Yeah,
I would
you
love
can stay
to
with us
visit.
anytime.
Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you want to check out the channel here, boop, 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 boop. Also, Connie's channel below. And also, if you want, I mean, I'm doing travel vlogs every single day of this trip. Really cool Japanese vlogs. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We just have a laugh track. Well, everyone, we loved him, everybody.
We love it.
Thank you, Ian.